first, though, and ahead of our special hour looking at cybercrime, I want to bring you more details of this attack on Vodafone. They say its systems were not compromised, despite confirming that hackers may have accessed some bank details of nearly 2,000 of their customers. Let's speak to Carl Gottlieb, who is head of cybersecurity at Cognition Secure. Good afternoon. What more, Carl, do we know about this particular attack on Vodafone?
Unfortunately, Tom, we don't really know a lot more than what you've already said. The update very much is that, as you say, up to 2,000 accounts have been accessed. What we think is that Vodafone have detected these accounts being accessed, but we're not seeing any information about any data being actually breached from Vodafone itself.
This is clearly just the latest in a series of attacks on companies. Why is this happening so often, do you think, sir?
So the very simple answer is it's actually very, very easy to do. The data that we're talking about here resides on the dark web, and I know you're going to be talking about that in the next hour.
Yeah.
And this data is usually just a combination of names, emails, and email addresses and passwords. And what we think has happened here is that people have collected this data in this place in the dark web, which is just a place on the internet that anyone can really access, and has been sold to the highest bidder. And what we think is that criminals have just tried to use that data to access these different customer accounts. Now, the crucial point really is, where does this data come from? And data like this can be stolen. So maybe someone inside Vodafone has leaked it, someone has got it from Vodafone. Or more likely, people have just collected emails and passwords from other big breaches that have been out there over the years and tried those passwords out on Vodafone. They've worked, and therefore have assembled almost like a list of combinations of what works and what doesn't, and what works, that sells.
And briefly, I wonder if you could describe what could happen should your details, my details, be available to somebody on the dark web. What options do they have in using those details?
So it all depends on the extent of the details. But if we focus on this particular attack, we know that there's names, emails, passwords, mobile phone numbers, moderate levels of bank details. But
that's the bad one, isn't it?
Yeah. Although in reality, the big concern for you and I really should be your email address and password. And the reason for that is most people still use the same passwords on different websites. So if an attacker has your Vodafone password, it's quite likely that might be your password for your email account. And that's a dangerous one, because if someone's got your email, access to your email box, what they can do is reset all the accounts that you have out there. So whether it be your iCloud one or your Amazon password, and at that point, they can start stealing all of your data.
And then you go into overdrive on having to try and claim it back. Carl, thank you so much. Carl Gottlieb, head of cybersecurity at Cognition Secure.